globe to bring you the constant variety of sport, the thrill of victory, and the agony of defeat. The human drama of athletic competition. This is ABC's Wide World of Sports. Brought to you by the Shell Oil Company, makers of Super Shell, the gasoline for good mileage. Super Shell in the clean white pump, wherever you see the sign. By John Hancock. If anybody can design a life insurance plan that's right for you, it's probably us. And by your Mercury dealer, home of the 1968 Mercury, Mercury Cougar and the all-new Mercury Montego. Better idea cars from the makers of Lincoln Continental.
This is the famous Daytona International Speedway in Florida, and the cars you see are lining up for the start of the Daytona 100 National Championship Stock Car Race. I'm Chris Economaki, and on Wide World of Sports today, you'll be seeing a three-part show including the National AAU Synchronized Swimming Championships from Latham, New York, and the National Parachuting Championships from Tahlequah, Oklahoma. The events originally scheduled for Wide World of Sports today, as indicated in local listings from TV Guide magazine, have been postponed until a later date. The Daytona Speedway is the fastest racing course in the world, and the cars heading for the starting flag qualified at tremendous speeds, some at better than 180 miles an hour. On the pole, driving Chevelle number 13, is Curtis Turner, an old pro in the business of racing stock cars. Alongside in the front row is David Pearson, the NASCAR champion in the white Dodge Charger number 6. In the second row, driving number 12, another Charger, is Leroy Yarborough, with A.J. Foyt, the great Indianapolis winner, in the Ford Fairlane number 27. Here they come, waiting for the green flag. It's down, and they're off and running. 28 cars. They'll be making 40 trips around this 2.5-mile high bank track. And look at this mad shuffle going into turn 1. It's heavy traffic at its greatest. And David Pearson at car number 6 breaks into the first position as the traffic sorts out as they head around that 31-degree bank turn into that long back straightaway here at Daytona, one of the fastest rides in stock car racing. It's a battle for second with A.J. Foyt nosing ahead of pole starter Curtis Turner. Turner qualified at 180.831 miles an hour, but Mr. Foyt is making a race of it here, moved to second behind leader David Pearson in the Dodge Charger. Through the turn now. Turner challenges, comes back in there as the balance of the field streaks out behind the three high-flying leaders. Completing lap number 1 now. It's a shuffle here, and Pearson falls to second as they go over the start-finish line, but tries to come back hard. Curtis Turner mixing with A.J. Foyt and David Pearson, the champion. We've got a fine automobile race going here. A.J. Foyt setting the pace in the Ford Fairlane number 27, Curtis Turner in the Chevelle number 13 right behind, and Pearson, who moments ago was leading, has dropped to third. Down that back straightaway, here's where the drafts take effect, the turbulence, and Pearson's picking up the draft, taking the outside road. Oh, Turner's in trouble, and there goes his engine. It was a short-lived challenge for Curtis Turner. As his engine blew, the telltale smoke signal indicates to all in racing that he's had it for this race. As the competitors go by, Curtis Turner heads the Smoky Unique Chevelle towards pit lane, and a lot of fans will be disappointed at this development. The competition continues with side-by-side action between Foyt and Pearson, and now Foyt drops to second as Pearson bulls his way into the lead, driving the streamlined number 6 Dodge Charger. It's a close go with A.J. Foyt, a talented driver who's made it mark in many kinds of racing, hanging in there a close second. Off the banking and onto the flat portion of that long back straightaway that's sometimes used as a drag strip, and now Foyt inches up behind Pearson, but apparently is content to hold second. Into the number 3 corner. Big crowd here at Daytona today. And into the turn 4, and still bumper-to-bumper action between the two leaders. Pearson setting a brisk pace. He's the NASCAR champion. Drove in a lot of races last year to win the number 1 position in the standings. Foyt's from the rival United States Auto Club, a visiting driver because of the international aspect of this competition. Better than 180 in qualifying. They're running in the high 70s at this point. A tremendous clip on a beautiful day here in Daytona Beach. And Foyt again measures David Pearson. It's a battle of the brands as well as a battle between men, a Dodge and a Ford here. And the companies involved are, of course, interested to a high degree. And look at these cars drift to the top of the track. Tremendous speed going into these high bank turns. Foyt is content to follow Pearson to see just what Pearson has in the car. Now Foyt tries the inside. He may be making his bid here, inching along on the inside, pulling alongside. Now it's side-by-side action, and the fans love it. Down the straightaway, AJ on the inside, David on the outside. And Foyt in the Ford moves into the number 1 position and drifts high, as does Pearson. We'll be back with more exciting action of the Daytona 100 in a minute.
The look is sleek, sporty. Every inch says this is the fine car touch. Inspired by Lincoln Continental, the car is Mercury Monterey, featuring Mercury's newest 2-door hardtop styling for 1968. Inside, it's big, roomy, plush, vinyl paneling with rich wood grain finish. And Mercury Monterey's smooth, hushed ride rivals the Lincoln Continental itself. Mercury Monterey. Luxury that should come as no surprise in a car built with the fine car touch. Lincoln Mercury. Better idea cars from the makers of Lincoln Continental.
Back to the action, and A.J. Foyt in car number 27 provides the action out here as David Pearson in car number 6 holds the lead. A 4-way battle here for the number 1 position developing in this Daytona 100 National Championship stock car race. 4 automobiles, David Pearson in car number 6, the Dodge leading. In second place, Leroy Yarborough, another Dodge in second place. Then we have A.J. Foyt in a Ford, number 27 third, and Paul Goldsmith in car 99 of Plymouth, making it a quartet of fast-moving stock car drivers. They're going past the slower cars, taking the high road on this beautifully smooth bank racetrack. Pearson, the champion, in front. The front 2 cars are Dodge Chargers with fastbacks, and in the trade they're called aerodynamically slippery and get through the air quite well. The speeds are well over 170 miles an hour, and these 4,000-pound cars are really booming it around the racetrack. Again, slower cars, polished off by the leaders with the greatest of ease. The fight is for second place, with Foyt challenging Yarborough. Here's the leader, David Pearson, cranking that wheel going past the start-finish line bulge. The banking at the start-finish line is only 18 degrees, and the boys run through it with their foot right to the floor. Now Goldsmith pulls to the inside in hopes of improving his 4th position. Close together, running at very high speeds. The drivers must have a lot of respect for their fellow competitors. These cars weigh 4,000 pounds and do bobble around, especially in the turbulence engendered by the machine in front. And now, Yarborough tries underneath Pearson for the lead and makes it. And A.J. Foyt wants to follow him through. A new leader, Leroy Yarborough. And A.J. Foyt goes to second as David Pearson, caught in the turbulence, swings high and drops to 3rd place. A great automobile race. Paul Goldsmith still in 4th. And look how close they are. Now Foyt challenges Yarborough on the inside. Foyt likes that inside line. Yarborough really knows this racetrack. It's gotten a lot of tire test miles on this car here. Knows every ripple in the track. Pearson, the leader a moment ago, back in 3rd place, being challenged by Paul Goldsmith. So A.J. Foyt looks to the outside as the field speeds down the back straightaway. Earlier, I asked Leroy Yarborough, where is the toughest spot on the track?
Coming off number 4, if you come off low, it's rather rough down there, actually. To look at the racetrack, you couldn't tell it, but when you start running 180, 185, it gets quite rough. It's quite wavy over there, and so coming off both corners, number 2 and number 4, you're in a little more trouble than you are in other places on the speedway.
What's the fastest part of the track?
Actually right at the end of the tri-oval. you usually turn around 200 RPM more, which means about 4 or 5 miles an hour. Most people think the backstretch, but we've proven this wrong on account of, well, we run tire tests here with clocks and whatnot, and we run 196 or 7 miles an hour right at the end of the front tri-oval, and we only run, say, 192 at the end of the backstretch.
And then they are approaching that tricky and challenging fourth turn with Leroy Yarborough, a close leader over A.J. Foyt. Off the fourth turn and into the straightaway, and drafting playing an important part in this race. Foyt holding on to Yarborough's back bumper. There's our third place driver, David Pearson in car number 6, and Paul Goldsmith in the number 99 in fourth spot. A close foursome here, fighting for the number 1 position in the Daytona 100. Yarborough leads with A.J. Foyt in second place, right behind, taking every advantage of the air currents being stirred up by that number 1 car. Car 12, Leroy Yarborough, a veteran stock car driver, out in front now, trying for victory. And A.J. Foyt, the invader, so to speak, from a rival sanctioning body, in a close position, right behind number 27. Drafting is the technique where a driver in second or behind another car is using the vacuum created by the leading car. And this enables him to operate at a bit less throttle setting and save gas in the process. And now Foyt decides to give up drafting and try for the lead. And move into the number 1 position he does on the inside as Paul Goldsmith swivels in behind him, swerving, trying to make the most of it and catch on to Foyt, but he's unable to hook on and has to lie back in third or perhaps fourth place. Yarborough holds second. Another reminder that the events originally scheduled for today on Wide World of Sports, the Pacific Southwest Motorcycle Championship from the Mojave Desert, and the World Figure Skating Champions from Vienna will be seen at a later date. And now David Pearson booms along the inside and steals the lead from A.J. Foyt and drifts up right in front of him. A 4,000-pound car going in low has to go someplace, and it went right up in front of A.J. Foyt, who hangs in there in second place. What an automobile race. These 4 cars have never been more than 5 or 6 lengths apart the last few miles. And now Foyt tries that low groove, the groove he seems to like, coming past the start-finish line. Second place, Pearson, the leader in car number 6, better than 174 miles an hour around this 2.5-mile track, and foot to the floor all the way. Foyt still holds second. Really moving. Into the number 3 turn. And now Foyt challenges again on the inside. Into the number 3 corner. Takes the lead down low and manages to hold the groove and allows the car to go up a bit later on. Foyt in the number 1 position. Pearson now second. Yarborough is third and Goldsmith is fourth. We'll be back with more exciting action from the Daytona 100 in a minute.
Before he grows up, this child will consume $7,300 worth of food, whether his father is alive or not. What's the best kind of life insurance to have? A John Hancock man won't have any snap answers. We have so many different plans and options, he'll sit down with you and figure out exactly what you do need. Insurance for you or for your wife. Maybe a plan that lets you buy a modest amount now, but guarantees you can get more later, regardless of your health. If anybody in this life insurance business can design the right plan for you, it's probably us.
John Hancock, huh?
Back at the Daytona 100, A.J. Foyt leads, but Paul Goldsmith in the number 99 Plymouth has slipped into second place, the furthest forward he's been all afternoon. So now Goldsmith, the driver from Munster, Indiana, is the challenger to the pride of Houston, Texas, A.J. Foyt in the number 27 Ford. Ford to Plymouth in the 1-2 spots now with the 2 Dodge Chargers a bit behind. The furthest behind the second echelon has been since the green flag wave. A.J. Foyt setting up hot pace, still at better than 173 miles an hour on the raceway now, with Goldsmith second. Here we have a car smoking a bit. It's Elmo Langley. Elmo Langley's car smoking as A.J. Foyt gives him plenty of room, goes by on the top side, closely pursued by Goldsmith. Now Goldsmith challenges the Houston driver on the inside to try to put his Plymouth in the number 1 spot, and put it there he does. So Paul Goldsmith, the new leader. Several leaders we've had in this race, and that car slides high on the track. A handful of automobile for these drivers who go in low and then have their car wash out on them in the turns. Voigt once again finds himself back in second position. Tremendous competition within this 100-mile contest. Goldsmith, as the race moves on, now setting the pace. Voigt is second, and trying hard with the Dodge Chargers, third and fourth. Here's Wayne Smith, brings his Chevrolet to the pits, an unscheduled stop, obviously trouble of a mechanical nature. Fireman standing by just in case. The short race keeps them bunched up, and now A.J. Voigt on the outside goes around Paul Goldsmith, and here we saw a driver pass on the outside, a rare occurrence, and Voigt pulling something out of his bag of tricks. And down the straightaway, A.J. Voigt has regained the lead. Paul Goldsmith pushed back to second position in the Plymouth. A fantastic automobile race being waged here at Daytona this afternoon, with the lead shuffling back and forth a number of times. We'll be back for the exciting conclusion of the Daytona 100, but now let's go to Tahlequah, Oklahoma for the National Parachuting Championships and Bob Rhodes.
Before this man's parachute.
Thanks, Bob. In car 27, a Ford Fairlane, is A.J. Voigt leading, and car 99, a Plymouth, is Paul Goldsmith in second place. It's the Daytona 100 stock car race at the Daytona International Speedway in Florida, and an exciting race it has been, with several drivers setting the pace at one time or another. But right now, it's that Indianapolis Speedway veteran A.J. Voigt in car 27, a machine prepared by Banjo Matthews that's setting a 175-mile-an-hour pace out here, with Paul Goldsmith now trying for the lead on the outside of the track. Goldsmith gets that Plymouth into the number 1 position again. He's been up there before, but Voigt wrestled it away from him. So now we have Paul Goldsmith in car 99, a Ray Nichols Plymouth, out in front in this exciting 100-mile National Championship stock car race. Another reminder that the events originally scheduled for today on Wide World of Sports, the Pacific Southwest Motorcycle Championship from the Mojave Desert and the World Figure Skating Champions from Vienna, will be seen at a later date. Close going and heavy traffic on the 2.5-mile Daytona Speedway, with Paul Goldsmith still out in front in car number 99, taking the high road as they go by James Hilton, the runner-up for the championship last year and the sport's leading independent driver in a Dodge. More traffic, polished off by Goldsmith, followed closely by Voigt, who's picking up the draft now and gaining. Voigt's closing on the inside and scoots by. Last time, Voigt used the outside to take the lead. This time on the inside, he's doing a fine job in that car. It seems to run well at any point on the racetrack. Goldsmith a close second now as A.J. regains the lead in this seesaw competition. Gasoline may be a problem in this contest. In years past, the car has been able to go 100 miles on the 22 gallons it's allowed, but practice has shown that perhaps some will and some won't. So pit stops may well become a factor before this race is completed. Voigt leads Goldsmith at a tremendous clip on the track. The speeds are really fantastic. They're traveling at over 176 miles an hour right now, and more than one car qualified at better than 180 to get into the race. Going by the slower cars at a tremendous speed, Voigt, foot to the floor, leads this exciting contest. Goldsmith riding a bit higher in the number 99 Plymouth. Coming around the high banking, 31 degrees. Here's the tricky fourth turn, and into some traffic on the main straightaway. Boy, Goldsmith is camped right on A.J.'s back bumper as they head into more traffic. Voigt uses all the racetrack, goes down low, near the start-finish line, and then right out to the outside wall, entering the first turn. Taking the high groove, it's the high-speed way around this racetrack, up near the top of the track. Goldsmith is hanging on, he's using the draft, and now he's running through that draft, using the suction to get by A.J. Voigt, and zoom by he does, and once again, the lead is traded. Here's Tiny Lund in the pits, and this is an indication that the fuel will not carry these drivers 100 miles. In a Plymouth, Lund is in the pits. As they gas up the car, he gets a clean windshield and roars back into action. So the pit crews are going to have some work to do today. And now Foyt down on the inside goes by Goldsmith. What an automobile race. And the fans just love it. Back and forth, different leaders, different kinds of cars as well. So the irrepressible A.J. Foyt of Houston, Texas, out in front again in car 27, a Ford Fairlane. The Plymouth Belvedere right behind in second place. And here's Buddy Baker coming to the pits. We'll be back for the exciting conclusion of the Daytona 100 after this message.
Can the brand of spark plug make a difference in a car's performance?
In test after test, all sanctioned and certified by the United States Auto Club, Champion showed it can.
In performance tests at Sebring, Florida, 46 out of 50 Cadillacs accelerated faster with Champion turbo action spark plugs with booster gap than they did with spark plugs without these features.
In tests in the laboratory, 48 out of 50 Chevrolets got better gas mileage with this same type of Champion plug.
In mileage tests on Utah's Bonneville Salt Flats, 49 out of 50 Chevrolets got better mileage with Champions. Can Champions make a difference in your car? It depends on your car and you. No two cars and drivers are alike. But in test after test, cars sparked by Champion gave better performance. Next time you get a tune-up, insist on Champions.
More racing in a moment, but now a quick look at next week's show. You'll see live from Los Angeles the last quarterfinal bout in the WBA World Heavyweight Championship Elimination Tournament. Former two-time World Heavyweight Champion Floyd Patterson will meet the young Los Angeles heavyweight Jerry Quarry in a 12-round fight. Quarry has knocked out 14 opponents, so remember, next week, Patterson versus Quarry, live and in color, beginning at 5:30 Eastern Daylight Time on ABC's Wide World of Sports. It's still a close race with A.J. Foyt holding only a car length lead over Paul Goldsmith as he leads this exciting Daytona 100 National Championship stock car race. The big crowd watching the action and wondering what's going to happen. Will their gas hold out? Will Goldsmith be able to pass Foyt? Some of the drivers have already gone to the pits, and this is an indication that most of the fast runners will have to stop for just a touch of gas. And there goes Goldsmith out of line to the pits, leaving the lead clearly to Foyt as Paul Goldsmith brings the number 99 Plymouth into the Ray Nichols pits. He'll only need a little bit of gas. We're in the closing stages. We're past the three-quarter point of the contest. So perhaps 1 gallon, maybe 2 gallons, is all he'll need to keep going. Pit crewmen give him a clean windshield, a quick tire check. Those 10-gallon fuel tanks are slow in going in. And Leroy Yarborough has moved into second place as Goldsmith roars out of the pits. Burning rubber on the way, a real drag race to get back in the action. He puts number 99 back on the racetrack, a good ways behind. Foyt continues to lead. Number 27, Leroy Yarborough picking up the chase into his Dodge Charger. And now Yarborough tries down on the inside as Foyt apparently signaling his pits. And Yarborough has an easy time getting by A.J., something very few drivers have. So we have a new leader in Leroy Yarborough of Columbia, South Carolina, in a Dodge Charger. And Foyt still holds second as the checkered flag gets closer and closer. On to the back straightaway. The leaders move. Yarborough over Foyt. And here, Charlie Glott's back in the pits. Uh-oh, there's a car sliding off the track. We can't see who it is, and the yellow light is on. The yellow light is on, and the yellow flag will come out. And this is the answer to a leader's prayer. An opportunity to get a few drops of gasoline under the caution flag and perhaps rescue your position. A real break for the leaders, Leroy Yarborough and A.J. Foyt at this point. There's the yellow silk being waved by starter Johnny Bruner. And here's the word on that car. It's 05. Donnie Allison, he's okay. The car is off the track, but the yellow is out, and we have a momentary slowdown here in the Daytona 100. The pitmen will have their hands full now because the traffic will build up in pit lane. It's been a tremendously exciting automobile race. Here is Leroy Yarborough coming in, and A.J. Foyt in and out. A very quick gas stop for Foyt. He's moving back in and remains in contention. burning his way back to the track, past the pit lane steward. Here goes the rest of the field. And now they're reshaping behind the caution car. Tiny Lund is out there, Jim Pascal in number 14, David Pearson in car 6. The positions are now shuffled quite a bit because of the pit stops. A.J. Foyt in car 27 of Ford. And now, oops, as the lanes change, we'll be back to the exciting conclusion after this message.
There's something about an Aqua Velva man. You're my kind of guy, I want you so. Baby, everything about you is go, go, go. With Aqua Velva lotion, our romance began because there's something about an Aqua Velva man.
Get Aqua Velva Aftershave Lotion, regular, menthol, and now luxurious Frost Lime.
Get with the cool one. Get Aqua Velva Frost Lime Aftershave Lotion. Irresistible lime fragrance. Frost Lime.
Put wings on your electric razor with Williams Electric Shave. You'll skim off the toughest beard smoother, closer with any electric razor. Put wings on your electric razor with Williams Electric Shave. Look for the big L, first letter in.
Electric Shave!
Still under the yellow flag at Daytona, A.J. Foyt, number 27, leading. Leroy Yarborough, number 12, second. And here comes Yarborough alongside of Foyt, deep in the pack, but he's pulling by Foyt, cutting across him. Oh, you're not supposed to do that under the yellow flag. The green flag is down. The race once again is underway. We're near the finish, and the field scrambles towards turn 1. Leroy Yarborough has stolen the lead from A.J. Foyt. His Dodge is out in front. Foyt is second in car 27 of Ford as we move into the closing laps of this exciting 100-mile stock car race. Paul Goldsmith in Plymouth number 99 is third as they get rid of the slower cars and break out into clean air. Down the backstretch, Yarborough leads Foyt and Goldsmith. And that was quite a maneuver Yarborough pulled to get ahead of A.J. Foyt before they caught the restart flag. Down that back straightaway now. Foyt is right behind Yarborough, and Goldsmith is right on Foyt's back bumper as the trio rides high on the 31-degree bank turn. Turn number 4, the trickiest of Daytona's turns as they head into the main straightaway. Buddy Baker is a bit back in 4th position. Yarborough still holds that lead, and now Foyt starts to look and see if he can find some running room. Where can he get by? Coming up on slower cars, that's David Pearson in car number 6. Just to show you the breaks of the game, Pearson was an early contender and led this event. But he made his pit stop under the green flag, and the others made theirs under the yellow flag. And Pearson now finds himself 1 lap behind and out of contention. Yarborough continues to lead as both he and Foyt go by Pearson. Goldsmith next to make the pass. Down that long back straightaway, and into turn 3. We're getting closer and closer to the finish. Number 12, Leroy Yarborough in the Dodge leading. Number 27, A.J. Foyt in the Ford second. And number 99, Paul Goldsmith third in the Plymouth. Into the main straightaway now, and they're still very close. It can be anyone's race. Really pouring into it now. Foyt tries to get by, but can't get the speed. Yarborough is getting all he can out of his number 12. The traffic, too, is a problem here. You can't run where you like to. There's a slower car in the way. Foyt right there. Foyt's a 2-time winner here at Daytona, knows the track, and his car has been performing beautifully all afternoon. It's the Banjo Matthews Ford. Yarborough is driving the John Thorne Dodge, and Goldsmith the Ray Nichols Plymouth. Coming now into the straightaway to get the white flag. Next time on the main stretch will be the white flag signaling 1 lap to go. And if somebody's going to pass, they better figure out a way to do it now. It's a close group of cars heading down that main straight, waiting for the signal that there's 1 lap remaining. And they've received that. They're on the final lap now, in traffic. And Yarborough cuts down in front of Foyt. Goldsmith, the 3 leaders in the inside lane. And Foyt comes up behind Yarborough and touches his back bumper and swivels and almost bumps the car of Tiny Lund, number 42. That car's a lap behind, but now it's splitting the leaders. This is a break for Yarborough, as Foyt is further back now in second place than he's been all afternoon. Lund, 1 lap down, and car 42 is between the leader, Leroy Yarborough, in car 12, and Foyt second in car 27. Goldsmith still lies third. Coming in now, the final set of corners, the checkered flag. Next on the agenda, who's it going to be? Foyt now tries to find room to get by Lund. Frank Warren, number 79 car, is smoking on the final lap. Here they come down now for the checker. And across the line in a blanket finish. We can tell you that Buddy Baker got fourth in car number 3. And here's the word. The winner, Leroy Yarborough in car number 12, a 1967 Dodge Charger. Second place, A.J. Foyt in car 27, a 1967 Ford Fairlane. And third, Paul Goldsmith in car 99, a 1967 Plymouth Belvedere. And Foyt wastes no time getting to the pits. Yarborough's winning speed, a remarkable 163.934 miles an hour, slowed considerably by the yellow flag. Foyt moves out. It's an exciting race all day. Here's the winner, Leroy Yarborough of Columbia, South Carolina. A.J. Foyt is moving over to the chief steward's position, Johnny Bruner Sr., and he's talking with him. He's apparently not happy with Leroy Yarborough's restarting techniques, but that's the story of racing here at the Daytona Speedway. The executive producer of ABC's Wide World of Sports is Roone Arledge. The Daytona 100 produced for ABC by Jim Spence and directed by Mac Himian. Parachuting and synchronized swimming coverage produced by Dick Kirchner. Our director in Latham, Marty Morris. Associate directors, Ronald Hawkins, Ed Nadell, and Dick Pittenger. Daytona 100 technical facilities provided by Teleprompter Corporation. National Parachuting Championships produced in association with the Triangle Race Film Team. Remember, next week, live and in color from Los Angeles, the last quarterfinal bout in the World Heavyweight Championship Elimination Tournament as Floyd Patterson meets Jerry Quarry. Today's program was pre-recorded. Air travel arrangements for ABC's Wide World of Sports made through United Airlines, who also furnished promotional consideration.
Spanning the globe to bring you the constant variety of sport, the thrill of victory, and the agony of defeat. The human drama of athletic competition. This has been ABC's Wide World of Sports. Brought to you by Ice Blue Aqua Velva, the aftershave lotion that's better for your skin, for a wonderful feeling of fitness and a clean, crisp, manly scent. By the makers of Champion Spark Plugs, used by engine experts the world over. B2, a product of Stuart Warner Corporation.
ABC News presents a penetrating picture of one of football's greatest legends. Watch the exciting one-hour special, Coach Bryant, Alabama's Bear, Monday night at 8.